So what is the exponential power of design? You all know the dandelion flower, that beautiful flower that has a tiny seed that looks like a parachute. And it flows and flies through the air to land farther away and sprout a new plant. And then the cycle continues again and again. We've all done it. You have participated in it by grabbing this seed and blowing it apart. The exponential power of design is about beautiful design ideas, or ideas in general, that flow and fly and have a positive effect on our environment. Ideas, we all have them. The question is whether we allow them to be, whether we trust them and allow them to flow and fly and land and grow. I will take you through the chronology of this seed through 3 stories of my life, as a student, as a designer, and as a professor, and into now and into the future together, all of us. The first story is about the ecology of life. So as a student in Italy, I was scolded by my professor for looking at people, for looking at the people between the buildings as opposed to looking at the static buildings. I wasn't doing what architecture students are supposed to do, analyze buildings, their structure, their materiality, and their effect on space. I was interested in what was happening between the buildings, the things that were alive, moving and changing, the patterns in time, and the cycles of human life. Where people are going, what they're doing, how often they stay there, and so on. The second story is about the individual versus the greater community. So as a designer in New York City, I work to satisfy the desires of one individual at a time. Even the design of a bathroom was an extravagant design activity of seemingly endless hours over and over again, revisions to get it just right for the particularities of that particular client, and then the client would change his mind again. Conversely, at the same time, I was working on ideas that benefited the larger good. With so much turmoil happening in our environment, and with so many deficiencies caused by our own actions, I felt that it was my responsibility as a designer to reverse this. I felt that it was imperative and exciting to balance our environment. Ideas came to me as I flew through space, through little and big living things as I cycle through life. For example, super absorber, a new kind of sound wall barrier. It works like a living sponge, digesting and transforming sound and air pollution. At 55 miles per hour on our highway, as I was driving, the ideas formed as I brainstormed with my partner. From the backyard of the homes, this is how it looks and how it works, while the wall transforms the airborne pollution into salts. The sound pollution, the visual pollution actually, is transformed into a flicker of light. The effect looks like fireflies or some other beautiful effect of nature. The wall is also a musical instrument. Through those cavities, which absorb the airborne pollution, the sound is also transformed. From the highway, this is how it works. It delineates and accentuates the topography of our land, and it works like a large installation art project. Someone told me that this is not only functional but beautiful. Let me explain how beauty works for me. It starts from within and it flows outward. And It starts with action. It starts with what we do, and this is really so simple. This takes me to the third story, which is about seeds. As a professor, I was, yes, planting seeds, so to speak. My students didn't draw the materials and the structure and the static buildings. They drew living sections. As the clouds moved across the sky, their drawings capture the living things and the ephemerality of time as it progressed. They capture the ecology of life. And then they came up with visions that balance our environment. Since design to me is beautiful first by its actions, I felt fortunate to inspire my students to come up with ideas that balance our environment. Our creative process was left fluid and open, not to structure, not to fix, in order to allow for flexibility, transformation, and discovery to occur. To them, this is scary. But if they let go and they let go, it allows for something new and unexpected to emerge, unknown to them, unknown to us. At the same, sorry guys. Well, I'm going to let that play for a minute. Hopefully I hadn't been doing this all, yeah. So then, the unexpected and the flow of activities, the flow of ideas, and the discovery and the trusting and the something new emerging. So as a professor, I was also working on a project called SEED. It envisioned the life cycle of shipping containers. Shipping containers abandoned and empty that are already in the Caribbean would become homes for people left homeless by natural disasters in those areas. The project was a kind of ecology of life. It looked at the cycles that were occurring with the disasters, but also the cycle of how these containers moved from port to port. As we were working on a prototype, an earthquake hit Haiti and left over 1 million people homeless overnight. The response to our idea was huge, and the need was immense. I felt a huge responsibility to implement the project immediately. My assignments at that time became real-time and dealing with the situation as it unfolded in Haiti, and also dealt with the idea of the powers of 10, with the idea of exponents to deal with the immensity of the situation. We formed many teams. We had many conversations with people in need, with people who wanted to help, with officials, with the media, with other professionals. Conflicts began over the project authorship because of the media attention. Greed led to rivalry between team members. My hands felt tied by my institution, academia, who values in part patents, authorship, peer review, was afraid of the execution of the idea. One administrator told us that the university is for generating ideas, not for executing them. Our prototype was destroyed, and a grant that we received from the Environmental Protection Agency was returned. Around that time, I attended a conference to present one of my projects to other academics. To my surprise, at that conference, 2 of my projects were being presented by others as their own. My ideas were being appropriated. This takes me to the idea of letting go. Like the seeds blowing in the wind, this is a good thing. By this time, I was exhausted and terribly disappointed. My daughter, who at that time was 13, was diagnosed with autism and was refusing to attend school. I took a leave from work to focus on what, to me as a mother, is the most important seed to me. I also focused on developing the idea of the exponential power of design with the desire for real action. This changes in family dynamics and a change in my job and my partnership led to a marriage crumbling. With needles in my body during an acupuncture session, I felt the chi moving through me. As the blood flowed through me, I realized that a huge change was happening. My life, as I knew it for 25 years, was changing drastically and fast. A cycle was ending, and my resistance to its natural flow was causing me a lot of pain. I was drowning. I let go. This also led to the letting go of my 16-year career. It all happened at once. To refresh, at the end of 2013, when all of this took place, I went to Hawaii, and while sitting on a rock, admiring the beauty around me, I was grabbed by a huge wave and submerged into the sea with force. And while I was being pulled away and from the shore, and while I was unable to grab onto the shore, I thought, I'm it. I am one of the people in the warning brochure handed to me at the airport. I am losing my life here today. Then I thought about all that I had overcome in the process of letting go, and I said, no, I am not it today. I stopped my fight, and I surrendered to the sea. I let go. The rest is a survival story. Out of the sea, up a vertical forested cliff, hanging from branches, tears, cuts, bruises, adrenaline, a new shore, and a lesson about life. If you fight, you drown. If you let go, trust, and prepare for action, you live, and you live. I carry this idea of letting go to the exponential power of design. I took the opportunity of this talk to discover something new about my work and about where I'm going. Don't know what that is, but I do know. The clarity is deep within, and I am looking forward and excited about the opportunities that will come my way. I am open, I am trusting. I realized that, and I also rethought the idea of people appropriating my work, realizing that I am actually a vessel for ideas to move through and to inspire others. And I realized that the ideas and the projects that I presented earlier, and what happened is this thing doesn't go forward. That's, okay. So those ideas had gone forward. They had continued. What? No, I'm not ready yet. Yeah. Oh. Okay, I want all of us to be part of a huge collaboration. Let's let go, let's trust, let's surrender, let's be part of a huge collaboration. The exponential power of design is beautiful, and while it benefits, something bigger that contains and sustains us, it benefits each of us individually. Thank you. And thank you.